Origins on the Savannah.
It began here, on the continent of Africa, more than 2 million years ago, the epic story of humankind. It was a sprawling, hostile wilderness, but against all odds, it pulsed with life. This was a land ruled by giants. The woolly mammoth, the woolly rhino, colossal and powerful. But the darkness held its own perils. Predators were always watching, waiting for a single moment of vulnerability. For the ancient herds of deer, life was lived in constant fear. This was the great arena of life and death for all species. Amidst a world fraught with peril, a small species emerged. It possessed no natural weapons, no overwhelming power. Its only gifts were its hands, and the intellect to guide them. They are our primeval ancestors, the ones who started it all. They were small, but they refused to be broken. This was the beginning of an epic saga. A story called ... humanity. And that journey began right here. They moved in small groups, in a state of constant vigilance. Every footstep was shadowed by fear. They foraged for wild berries, just enough to keep them going. The children sheltered behind the adults. Every morsel of food was earned at great risk. Parched and weary, yet they pressed on. Their minds began to devise strategies to overcome the dangers. They learned a crucial lesson. To survive, they had to rely on one another. Solidarity was not just a source of strength, it was their only one. But nature is unforgiving. Fierce winds, bolts of lightning, a constant threat to this fledgling species. They huddled together, holding each other close, waiting for the storm to pass. It was the first war they would wage, not against beasts, but against nature itself. It was a crucial lesson learned. Survival wasn't about conquering nature, but adapting to it. Resilience became instinct. On the open savanna, predators were always on the prowl. A pack of hyenas emerges, their growls low and menacing. Seized by terror, the group turns and runs. The children are snatched up in their parents' arms as the desperate flight begins. They seek refuge in the towering cliffs. Below, the hyenas snarl, their patience a chilling threat. Above, the humans huddle in fear, trapped on their rocky perch. As darkness descends, so too does their terror. The haunting cries of predators echoed through the night, offering no respite. But the hunters below felt no such fear. They would simply wait for the dawn. In the end, there was no climactic battle. Their quarry still out of reach, the pack simply lost interest and wandered away. The humans breathe a collective sigh of relief. A brutal lesson in survival had been etched into their collective memory. They understood that individual strength was not enough. Only by standing together could they hope to survive. They began to fashion tools from the materials around them, stone and bone. A heavy femur is now a formidable club, their first real chance to fight back. Their hands could now turn simple refuse into a weapon. With tools in hand, they were no longer helpless, and with that confidence came less fear. H Chia Cho now Ting Miang on its side. A new, unspoken rule began to form. The young must always eat first. Their unity was transforming into something more permanent, the strength of a community. At a shallow brook, they replenished their bodies with life-giving water. In this unforgiving land, water is the very essence of life. In their eyes, a glimmer of hope is rekindled. Out of weakness, they began to forge a new strength. Their intellect was becoming their ultimate secret weapon. This was the first great turning point in the epic journey of humankind. A new species was on the rise. Humankind slow, yet unbreakable. Dusk descends upon the vast savanna. As the light fades, the group makes their camp on a wind-swept outcrop. They watch the sun burn a fiery red as it sinks below the horizon. Far in the distance, the great herds are still on the move. In the long evening shadows, the human figures seem to shrink against the vast landscape. They were small figures in a vast world, but their spirit was unbreakable. They knew, with a quiet certainty, that the road ahead was still long. Von Bun MCC Hun. But they would not stop. They could not. From those first, trembling footsteps. From those first, trembling footsteps, an epic journey began. A journey that would be known by one name: humanity. And the story has only just begun. The next chapters of their story would be written in blood, sweat, and the power of their intellect. This was the dawn of humankind. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Untamed Echoes TV to follow the next episodes in this epic journey of humankind.